All right, y'all. This adobo is nice and thick. Meat as tender as can be. Hey everybody, Mike Chavez here once again. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Alright, going to do something different once again. Now I like all kinds of food, y'all. And here's something I've been looking at. It looks awesome. I want to try this out. What I'm making today is some Filipino style pork adobo. So adobo, the pork meat, you can make it out of chicken. It's going to be marinated in a soy sauce blend with fish sauce and ginger, and it's going to be good. So we're going to marinate this up. We're going to cook it up with some onions and garlic, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to have it over some nice jasmine rice. So, always looking for something new. If you're looking for something new, stand by, check it out. Let's do this, y'all. Alright, y'all. Here's what goes in the marinade for the adobo. So what we're going to do, we got some nice soy sauce. We're going to use our Pearl River, my favorite soy sauce, 1/3 of a cup. Then we got 1/4 cup of distilled white vinegar. Alright, we're going to use some fish sauce. So the fish sauce will be 2 teaspoons. We're going to put some sriracha in there. So about a tablespoon of sriracha. We got some ginger. We're going to grate that up. And then we have the star of the show. Move this out the way. We got a nice piece of pork shoulder. So this right here is about 4 pounds of pork shoulder. Then when we go to cook it, we're going to use to cook this some unrefined virgin coconut oil to start out with. Now with that vinegar, traditionally they use coconut vinegar, but I don't have any coconut vinegar, so I ain't gonna worry about that. We got a couple of yellow onions, 2 yellow onions. We're going to use, the recipe calls out for 8 cloves of garlic, but these are really big cloves of garlic, so we're just going to use 4 of these. They're huge. Okay, I'm going to put this recipe calls out for Ancho Chile, so we're going to use that Ancho Chile in there. So an ancho is basically a dried poblano, like a big chili raisin. Some kosher salt, teaspoon of black peppercorns. So we got whole black peppercorns. That's one thing all these adobos seem to have in common. You put whole peppercorns in there, and by the end of the cook time, they soften up, and you get a little flavor bomb going in your mouth. Alright, got a couple of bay leaves, and then we'll put a little bit of water in here when it gets to going. So let's get this marinade made up and get this pork cut up. Alright y'all, get this marinade started. First thing I'm going to do, 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce. Be a little more, no biggie. 1/3 of a cup of soy sauce. We'll do 1/4 cup of our white vinegar. This is actually plus 3 tablespoons, so we'll go a little bit more white vinegar, just a tad bit. There we go. Then 1/4 cup brown sugar. It's a nice heaping 1/4 cup brown sugar on in. 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. So we got our fish sauce, good stuff. Let me see here. 2 tablespoons fish sauce on in, a tablespoon of sriracha. So I like stuff a little spicy, so I'm going to go almost 2 tablespoons of sriracha. There we go. Alright, what do we got here? A tablespoon of grated ginger. So I got a nice little microplaner here. Got a knob of ginger. So let me cut this bottom off here. I ain't going to worry about the peel too much. So we're going to go teaspoon of ginger. So we're going to estimate it. If you put a little too much ginger in there, it ain't going to hurt a darn thing. Get that ginger down in there. I might just put me a little more. I like some ginger. Alright. Ginger's on in. So that's it for the marinade. So let's get this whisked up. Nice. And that'll be our marinade. Now this isn't going to marinate long. This is marinate long enough for us to get the other stuff ready. So marinade's ready. So let's get this pork cut up. Alright, so recipe says pork about 1.5 inch pieces. So I'll go ahead and cut this in a slab like that. Cut this up in chunks. So we want these pretty nice sized chunks so they don't fall apart too bad in the cooking process. We'll set these to the side. Alright, there are many ways. From what I've seen, there are lots of different ways to make adobo. This is just one way. So any of y'all out there that are of Filipino heritage, don't be hating on me too much. This is my first time doing this. I know it's not authentic, but I think this is going to be really good. So we got the pork down in the marinade. Everything needs to be covered. Cover it well, give it a good massage. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cover this, put it in the fridge for about an hour. Okay, then we'll come back and we'll get the rest of this stuff going. And I think that's covered pretty well. Alright. Alright y'all, so the meat is still marinating. So in the meantime, while we're waiting on that, the way the recipe calls out is to take you 2 onions. Alright, so we take the 2 onions and we cut them in wedges. So the idea of these will disappear into the sauce because this is going to be cooking for a couple hours. So we'll cut them into wedges. Alright, take our garlic. These are some huge cloves. I like to cut this little stem end off. Just a pet peeve of mine. I don't know if you really need to do that. That little stem right there I don't like. So I always like to cut that off. So all we're going to do with this garlic, give it a little smash. Get the peel off. Now as big as these things are, I think I'll just cut them like that. Okay, you want to leave them pretty good chunks because they will cook down and disappear in the sauce. Alright, so garlics, we'll take our Ancho Chile, cut the stem off, get the seeds out, all those seeds right there, take them over the trash can. So these anchos don't have a lot of heat to them, but they got some good flavor, good fruity, kind of a fruitiness, fruity smoky taste. Alright, so matter of fact, I think I'll cut this in half. There we go. Gonna leave it nice and big, just like that. So let's go over to the skillet. We're preheated pretty well, so I'm gonna take this organic extra virgin coconut oil. So I smell it. You can smell the coconut. So they call for about 2 tablespoons of this coconut oil. Put that down in there. Get this nice and hot. I want to see just a tad bit of smoke coming off of it. My peppers, ancho peppers, my garlics, bay leaves. Give this a nice stir. So we just want to cook this until these until the garlic start to get a little golden. Okay. So by the time the cooking process is done, all this stuff should be cooked down. Smelling awesome up in here, I'll tell you what. Alright. Also, what we got to put in here, very important in Filipino style adobo. We got some cool peppercorns here, whole black peppercorns. So we're going to put a tablespoon of peppercorns in it. There we go. So they say those peppercorns will melt down and get soft by the time this cooking process is done. Alright, so these garlic are kind of golden. They're getting there. So I can pick one up. You can see that. So what we want to do is put this meat in here and leave our marinade behind. So the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to grab it with my hand, let the marinade drip off, back into the bowl. Alright, we're going to turn this heat up to high. So we're going to use this marinade in a minute. So we're reserving the marinade. So, stir this up. So we want this pork to get kind of brown. There's going to be some liquid in the bottom of the pot. We want that liquid to be gone. So we got the heat up on high. Let that cook. Alright, so this process here, according to the recipe, about 17 to 19 minutes. So you might as well say about 20 minutes. You get this liquid to evaporate. Get this meat a little bit caramelized. Alright y'all, we're about there. What I'm going to do though, I noticed there's a lot of fat in here. So I'm going to get rid of some of this fat. All the liquid's pretty much evaporated. We don't need all that fat in there. I'm going to remove some of that. I probably could have trimmed the pork butt a little more of the fat. Fat is flavor, but we don't want greasy. Alright, we're not going to take it all out. Just most of it. Alright. So, recipe said pan dry, meat slightly caramelized, which it is. So now we'll take the reserve marinade, pour that in there, and then a cup and a half of water. What I'm going to do is pour the water in this bowl, get all that marinade out. So, a cup and a half of water. Bring this to a boil. Alright, so this is boiling. So what we got to do now, going to put a lid on it. We're going to reduce this heat, medium low. And we're going to set us a timer for an hour. Then we'll bring you on back, see what we got. I know it's smelling good up in here, smelling really good. Alright. Alright y'all, this has been cooking for about an hour. Been coming in here and stirring it every now and again. So, looking really good, looking really good. So, got a pot of rice. Jasmine rice, so we're going to fire this pot of rice up, get it cooking. Now for this, recipe says turn this up high and continue simmering it until we get it thick. Also, we're going to add some MSG to it. So we're going to kick this heat up. And get rid of the bay leaves. I can find the other one in here. Should be a couple more. Chili's all broke up. Onions are melted into it. The garlic. Oh, there's one of them bay leaves. See the chilies. Here's one of the chilies. It's kind of broke up nice. So we're going to get this real thick and bring it back. All right, so we got this on high. We're going to reduce this sauce down nice and thick. And one more thing the recipe calls out for, which you don't have to do, but I like, is some MSG. It calls for like a half or a quarter teaspoon. So we're going to do a light sprinkle MSG, not too much. About a quarter teaspoon. So we're going to get this sauce nice and thick. Our rice is ready. Then we're going to have us some Filipino style adobo. Man, this meat is as tender as can be. He just cuts right in half with a slight push. Look at that. All right, we're about there. Sauce is nice and thick. All right, y'all, let's get into this. So we got our rice. This is nice jasmine rice, good and sticky. So we'll put some rice up here on our plate. Nice steamy jasmine rice. Now, let's get this adobo. Nice and thick. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Get a little bit of this sauce up on the rice. There we go, y'all. Put our lids back on our pots. So there we go. So Filipino pork adobo. We're going to try this out. And I got my Chinese chili oil. We'll put some of that on there if it needs it, which it might, because I didn't make this real spicy. So let's check her out. Alright, y'all, here we go. Filipino style pork adobo with some jasmine rice. Let's check this out, shall we? Alright then. Try a little piece of this meat first. There we go, y'all. Good. Oh man, smell good. Y'all ready? Taste! My goodness. A little bit of rice. Oh my. It does need to be kicked up a notch though. So I'm going to get some of my hot chili oil and put it on there. A little bit more. There we go. And if you want to see my Chinese hot chili oil recipe, the link is above. So, now that we put some chili oil on here, I mean, this stuff is good, no doubt. But the chili oil is just there to kick her up a notch. Y'all ready? Look at that. Taste! Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. That's like icing on the cake with that chili oil. This is some of the best stuff I've ever eaten. I'm in love with Filipino style pork adobo. One more time, y'all. Taste! My goodness. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Try it out for yourself if you like. It's got a peppercorn there. Let me chew that up. Yeah, the peppercorn's got nice and soft. I put a nice pop of flavor out. So if you like the video, like the recipe, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button right there. I appreciate it. And we'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.